At exactly 05:23 local time, 28 nautical miles southeast of Bandar Abbas, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Navy achieved something that hadn't happened since the Tanker War of 1988. They fired live ammunition at a United States Navy vessel in international waters. The IRGC fast attack craft Joshin, a 275-ton Hendijan-class patrol boat, put three 23mm autocannon rounds across the bow of USS Paul Hamilton, an Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer displacing 9,200 tons. The rounds impacted 140 meters ahead of Hamilton's bow, sending spray visible in the pre-dawn darkness. Inside the IRGC command center at Bandar Abbas, officers believed they'd successfully demonstrated Iranian resolve without triggering American retaliation. Someone was about to discover that warning shots work differently when one side has real-time satellite surveillance and the other has patrol boats from the 1970s. The Americans believed Iran was bluffing with Cold War-era hardware. The Iranians believed the Americans wouldn't risk regional war over a harassment incident. Both sides had perfect clarity on their respective red lines. One side's red line was interfere with nuclear inspections. The other side's red line was continue uranium enrichment beyond monitoring thresholds. Those lines had just intersected at 24 degrees 47 north, 57 degrees 12 east. Someone's strategic assumptions were about to experience kinetic correction. The USS Paul Hamilton wasn't supposed to be there alone. The United States Navy had deployed her starting in 2015 as part of standing Middle East force posture, rotating through the 5th Fleet area of responsibility. 505 feet long, 40,440 pounds of thrust from 4 General Electric LM2500 gas turbines. The Aegis Combat System she carried that morning had been upgraded to baseline 9 configuration in 2022. SPY-1DV phased array radar, 90 vertical launch cells loaded with a mix of SM-2, SM-6, and Tomahawk cruise missiles. Fire control systems that don't guess, they calculate intercept solutions to 6 decimal places. Defensive systems that had never faced real combat in the Persian Gulf. Offensive systems that were about to. The Hendijan-class patrol boat wasn't built to fight American destroyers. It was built to harass tanker traffic and intimidate commercial vessels that can't shoot back. Fiberglass hull over a steel frame, 33 feet long, top speed 40 knots on calm water. Armed with a Soviet-era ZU-23-2 twin 23mm autocannon and 2 Chinese C-704 anti-ship missiles. Total weapons range, 35 kilometers for the missiles, 2.5 kilometers for the gun. The crew of 16 had trained extensively on swarming tactics, overwhelm larger vessels with multiple small, fast-moving targets. Against cargo ships, the doctrine worked. Against an Arleigh Burke destroyer with radar that tracks 100-plus targets simultaneously and weapon systems designed to defeat saturation attacks from Soviet bomber regiments, it was performance art pretending to be naval strategy. Here's the thing about Revolutionary Guard forces operating under political pressure to demonstrate toughness. They don't calculate engagement envelopes the way professional naval officers do. Tehran had watched American naval forces transit the Strait of Hormuz 47 times in the past 6 months without incident. Each transit represented what Iranian leadership viewed as humiliation. Foreign warships operating in waters Iran considered its maritime domain. The supreme leader demanded action. Show the Americans that harassment has costs. Demonstrate Iranian sovereignty. The tactical orders were clear. Aggressive maneuvering, warning shots if necessary, but no direct engagement. Desperation follows its own terrible logic. 05:12 hours. 3 IRGC patrol boats depart Bandar Abbas Naval Base, Joshin plus 2 sister craft, Nahid and Piken. Mission profile: intercept USS Paul Hamilton during her transit through the Strait of Hormuz, conduct close-quarters harassment, force the Americans to alter course. Standard IRGC naval tactics. They'd executed similar operations 23 times in the past year. This time felt different.
The Americans were escorting an International Atomic Energy Agency inspection team to a declared nuclear facility at Bushehr. The inspection was routine. The timing was not. Iran had just breached the 20% enrichment threshold at Natanz despite explicit warnings. 05:19 hours. Joshin's radar operator detects Hamilton at 31 nautical miles. The patrol boat's Garpan Ball surface search radar is Soviet technology from 1982. Maximum range 45 kilometers in perfect conditions. Against a 9,200-ton destroyer with radar reflectors, detection is easy. What the radar can't tell them, Hamilton detected all 3 patrol boats 14 minutes ago when they were still tied to the pier. The SPY-1D radar sees everything within 200 nautical miles. Every surface contact, every low-flying aircraft, every radar emission. The Americans aren't reacting to the IRGC patrol boats. They're watching them the way a lion watches mice. 05:21 hours. The patrol boats close to 4 nautical miles. Joshin's commander receives updated orders via encrypted radio. Increase speed, close to visual range, demonstrate Iranian control of the waterway. The boats accelerate to 35 knots. Sea State 2, perfect conditions for small craft operations. They're closing fast on a target that could vaporize all 3 vessels without breaking formation, like speedboats chasing an aircraft carrier. Technically possible to catch, strategically insane, definitely not surviving the encounter if the bigger vessel stops being patient. 05:23 hours. Range 600 meters. Joshin's commander makes his decision. Fire warning shots. 3 rounds from the 23mm autocannon, not aimed at the destroyer, aimed 140 meters ahead. International signal for alter course, you're in restricted waters. The rounds splash, visible spray, unmistakable hostile intent. What the commander doesn't know, that warning shot just became casus belli. What Iranian naval commanders didn't account for, USS Paul Hamilton wasn't operating independently. She was the visible component of a networked kill chain that included an E-2D Advanced Hawkeye providing airborne early warning 150 nautical miles away, an EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft orbiting 80 nautical miles east, 2 FA-18E Super Hornets with full air-to-ground loadouts 40 nautical miles south, and USS Georgia, an Ohio-class guided missile submarine currently submerged 12 nautical miles west, carrying 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. Intelligence analysts at 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain had predicted this exact scenario with 89% confidence. They'd prepared the response package 72 hours ago. This wasn't improvisation. This was choreographed escalation with pre-approved targeting data. 05:24 hours. Hamilton's captain reports weapons fire to 5th Fleet Command. The response arrives in 8 seconds. Authorization granted. Execute Autumn Thunder. Autumn Thunder wasn't a code name created that morning. It was a pre-planned strike package targeting Iran's nuclear infrastructure, authorized for execution if Iran demonstrated hostile action against U.S. forces during HAEA inspection operations. The warning shots just met the threshold. 05:25 hours. Hamilton's Mark 41 VLS opens. Cell 17. 1 RIM-174 Standard Extended Range Active Missile, better known as the SM-6. This isn't an anti-ship weapon. It's a $4.3 million, 3,000-pound interceptor designed to shoot down ballistic missiles in terminal phase. Against a 275-ton patrol boat doing 35 knots, it's using a scalpel to remove a splinter. But the SM-6 has one advantage. It's already airborne, and the patrol boat isn't. Mach 3.5. Active radar homing. Fire and forget. Time to impact, 19 seconds. 05:25 hours plus 11 seconds. Joshin's radar warning receiver screams. Missile lock. The boat attempts evasive maneuvers. At 35 knots, the maximum turn rate is approximately 45 degrees per second. The SM-6 is making course corrections at 400 degrees per second. The mathematics are simple. The outcome is inevitable. 05:25 hours plus 19 seconds. Impact. The SM-6's 40-pound blast fragmentation warhead detonates 3 meters above Joshin's bridge. The explosion doesn't just destroy the boat, it erases it. Fiberglass and steel disintegrate. The boat that existed 19 seconds ago is now a debris field spreading across 200 meters of Persian Gulf. 0 survivors. Nahid and Piken break off immediately. They run for Bandar Abbas at maximum speed. Hamilton doesn't pursue. Doesn't need to. Point made. If you're enjoying this breakdown of naval escalation and strategic miscalculation, hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss what happens next. But the United States Navy wasn't done. Hamilton's Mark 41 VLS opens. 6 more cells. 6 BGM-109 Tomahawk cruise missiles, Block 4 configuration. 18-foot long.